Okay, continuing on with Remembrance of a Cousin. And last note. After all of these notes, last one. I remember after after my cousin died, I think I don't remember how much farther it was after the funeral. It might have been a year or two later. But I remember being in the kitchen and my mother was talking to her sister, the aunt, who was the mother of my cousin that died. And my aunt was telling my mother that I was talking about me. I was got really quiet after my cousin died. Like I had changed so much. And I remember like I didn't want to I didn't want to admit to that. I wanted to say no, that's I've always been this way. I've always been a quiet person. Well, that's not entirely true. There were times where I was definitely loud, but introspective. Definitely had moments of quietness, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to say. I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to admit to. Kind of messed up, but I didn't want to admit to my cousin's death having that much of an impact on me. Apparently, or to say no, I was always like this. It had nothing to do with it. Me being a different person. But I suppose, like most people, when you have someone that's close to you that dies, it's got to damage you in some way. So I'm sure that because his death was it had a significant impact on me. Uh, I'm sure that I did change a little bit. I must have because it was a shocking experience. Like someone that was close to me and was very close to my age died, so it was like this another reminder of my own mortality. So I'm sure like it damaged me. So I must have been different after that. So that's understandable. So I think I was a little more serious after that. Not for the rest, not all the time, but just when you have other things to distract me. When I had other things to distract me of other like things that were fun in life, like video games and just being around friends. Uh, School is a distraction. Uh, Television, but always just from that point on, there was definitely a seriousness to me. I remember drawing I drew a picture of my cousin. It was the photo, the school photo that I talked about previously, where on the back he wrote, talking to me, like, yeah, on the back of his photo he said that I'm too young for women or girls, that I'm supposed to stay away from them. So it was this same school photo that I had of him. I guess the only photo that I had of him. And so I drew a picture of my cousin from that photo, which, like, I think I do remember someone saying it didn't really look like him, like it wasn't a good enough photo, a good enough drawing, it wasn't a good enough representation. So I guess, like, it didn't look exactly like him. But this was a long time ago. I feel like I've gotten better at drawing since then. So yeah, it didn't look exactly like him, but I tried to draw him, my cousin, and I was I felt like it was my duty. I was compelled to give this drawing of my cousin to my aunt. So it might have been, especially like if it didn't really accurately represent his image. Like, I don't know, she seemed to feel like it was good enough apparently, and so it didn't upset her or anything. So I remember later I saw that she put the drawing that I did up on her fridge. I remember his mother, my cousin's mother, saying that it was okay to talk about him around here, because I think, like, one like the immediate thinking was that, not wanting to upset her by reminding her of the loss of her son, not wanting to bring him up, not wanting to make her cry. But I remember someone saying that, yeah, it's okay. You can talk to your cousin. You can talk to her about your cousin. It's okay. You can bring him up in discussion. So it's okay to talk about him. So I thought that was interesting that she was that strong. She wasn't like, gonna, like, burst into tears just by if you mentioned his name. Because nobody wants to see someone else cry. Because then that makes you want to cry. Or you just don't want to be around it. You don't want to be reminded of crying, I guess. I think I remember going to my cousin's grave only once. There was the time at the funeral, and then there was later, like maybe the next year, where we went to his grave. So only that was the only time. I have no way of getting there now since I don't have a car, and the cemetery where my cousin is kind of far away. So I just have a bike. But I think, like, I was thinking about, if I did go there again, I think I would probably it would probably bother me too much, uh, especially like when I was thinking about that, like back around the time when I actually did cry, when I was remembering my cousin. I guess, like, when I did cry, like, also, like feeling bad about, like, the stuff I said to him, and the wishing I had been nicer to him, and feeling sorry that he died. Like, I was also, like, missing my cousin, like, wishing wishing he hadn't died, and just remembering what it was like being young back then. And so I don't know if I would. Maybe I would be okay if I went back there to the cemetery where my cousin is. But just thinking about doing that is kind of depressing. Nobody likes to feel depressed. I remember I heard later. I'm almost done with this note here. I remember I heard later something that really disturbed me. Uh, I heard that some kid that my cousin went to school with, like I heard after my cousin died, that this other kid went to my cousin's home and he told the family of my cousin that had died that my cousin had promised him his bike. So this kid was going to uh, my cousin's family, and he was trying to get my cousin's bike from them because he said that my cousin wanted him to have it. So of course they didn't. They just were probably like, "No, get out of here." So that is a really strange thing for that kid to do. Very, very heartless thing to do. Pretty horrible thinking about that. Like, what was this kid thinking? Like, why would you do that? Uh, so I've been talking about my cousin that had died, and I never really said how he died. So now is the time where I'm going to say that. So originally, when I heard that my cousin died, I heard he was drowned. That's what I was told. It makes sense because my cousin liked to swim a lot. And I was even thinking like later I was thinking, well, like I guess like one way of looking at it was like if I had been on talking terms with my cousin, if we were like not mad at each other, like I think it would have been very traumatic for me if I was there when he died. So like if we were still talking and he had said, "Hey, let's go over to this place. I want to go. Let's go down by the water." It kind of not likely since I can't swim, and especially after the Lake Village incident. But like if I had gone over there and he was like over there swimming and I saw him fall down and die, I think that would have been very upsetting. So I'm thinking that would be like horrible to go through to see someone die. I never want to see that. So I'm thinking that's one way of looking at it. Like I was saved from seeing him die because I was angry at him when he died. So kind of messed up, but interesting to think about because I think that would have been horrible to be there when he died. So originally, I heard that he drowned, but then later, I heard it was something else.